Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Rad. Me just it's the computer. All right, so we do have Saturn back into Aries, uh, and it's a quite of a long transit that is ahead of us. It will be in effect up until 12th of April 2028. So we do have a 2 years and a couple of months worth of transit of Saturn. Um, and it will be quite sobering transit for what I saw in the cards I pulled a couple of hours ago. And I did that so I can use them in the thumbnail. And that's going to be the first thing that I'm going to do, the collective reading, what the transit is going to be all about. So the first card which I drew for the transit is a Three of Wands. Here, just let me pull my camera preview so I make sure that you do see the cards well. All right, so Three of Wands. The second card which I drew is a Seven of Cups. And the third card for the transit of Saturn is the Lovers. The transit, by the way, happens at the 13th of February, 7:11 p.m. That will be Eastern Standard Time. And again, it's going to be in effect all the way up until the 12th of April, 2028. Hello, Yasmin. Welcome to the stream. Right, so again, quite of a sobering transit. There is going to be transit, the positive side of the transit, at least what I think is going to outshine these unpleasant realizations. So one of the unpleasant realizations is going to be crushed dreams. You know, everybody has a dream what they want to be, right? Everybody has a dream what they want to do. And many of them throughout the next 2 years and couple of months are going to be crushed, realizing that, you know, these things are just not possible. I will give you an example with myself right now. I am currently watching a lot of videos about colonizing Mars and all that. I am a huge fan of the cosmos, and it's my hobby watching those things. And it's yeah, and it is right now, you know, I am watching the physics of it, and that is just not possible. It's not like that's my dream, you know, but for some people is. And these dreams are going to be crushed. We are, for example, we are never going there. We are never colonizing another planet. We're never colonizing another star system, and so on and so forth. For some, a dream could be crushed by them realizing that they're never going to hit a lottery, or kind of like go live in a country they want to go live and whatnot. The second unpleasant perspective is that within these 2.5 years, 2 years and a couple of months, we are going to be put in positions or in situations where we're going to have to make really tough choices. Choices that carry on with them a certain sense of loss, a certain sense of disappointment as well. And the reason for the sense of loss and disappointment at that point is going to be because we are not going to be able to have everything that is in front of us. That is like maintaining two jobs on a full time, which is impossible. You can go either for the one or the other, or maintaining two marriages. Although there are some people doing that, you know, very few of us, but still there are some people that have a parallel marriages. I don't know how they manage to do it, but alas, magicians. Anyway, uh, we're talking about decisions of that caliber, which one you're going to go for, right? Because you will not going to be able to have both. And because of not being able to have both of the options in front of you, that will gonna make you feel, gonna make us, not just only you, but I am also in that particular account, It's going to make us feel regretful, disappointed that, you know, that is how the circumstances are developing and whatnot. So these are going to be the unpleasant processes of the Saturn going through Aries. But in return, this is going to be a transit revealing, divulging, or whichever way you want to call it, what is going to be our maximum potential in our lifespan. How far we can reach, how far we can go, what we can tackle, and how much can we improve in a way that we can accomplish it in a harmony of the society, the harmony of the universe, if you will, the harmony of the planet Earth in general. Without, well, it's not like without breaking a sweat, but without having a point where the development hangs on a thread or hangs by a thread, but it's rather a steady development, suffused with checkpoints, which checkpoints does not allow us to fall beneath, and therefore making us feel rather quite secure. And thus, you can name the transit, okay, the banisher of the delusions. Literally the banisher of the delusions. It replaces science fiction, it replaces fallacies with a real goals, real accomplishments that we can strive for. And these accomplishments, at the end of the day, by the Three of Wands being at the front of the reading, being the primary card, are going to be upgrade and improvement by any stretch of the imagination. And we will consider, at the end of the day, a huge achievements and breakthroughs. And by the end of this transit, there will be nothing we are going to regret going forward with. And again, that's going to be a process. By the end of this transit, these accomplishments, or the maximum we can go for in our lifespan, it's not going to be accomplished. That is just the process of realizing it. Kind of a business we can build, whom we can have, the harmonious family we want to have, where is going to be the best place we can live, and so on. So quite of a epiphany, if that's a word, you know, it's a transit of epiphany. All right, so that was the collective reading. And now there are going to be 12 readings, just like this one. One for each star sign, and I'm going to start with Aries as per usual, and I'm going to end up with Pisces. Therefore, I'm going to run down the ecliptic. Bear in mind that these are going to be readings for the star signs, and you will need to project them and extrapolate them to your own personal situation. But if you want me to do that for you, you can go for a personal reading. In order to do that, you just have to go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below, and there on the very front page you can see a full list of my services and as well their pricing. Other than that, if you do enjoy the show and you do wish to support it, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal. The PayPal link you can also find in the description down below, just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 20. Thank you, Yasmin. At the end of the stream, as with everyone who donates to the show, you are going to have a personalized reading. And if you carry no inquiry, if the donation carries no inquiry, then the reading is going to be how this Saturn going through Aries is going to affect you personally. As we saw with the general reading, is going to be a major transit for each one of us. So starting up with Aries first, you can keep up what star sign I'm reading for through the illustration and the glyph being displayed from my right hand side. Right there. Let me shuffle and let's have a look for Aries. Right. These are the cards for you, Aries. The Tower, Queen of Pentacles, and the Death card. Saturn in your star sign, because it's going through your star sign, will be a transit of recovery. Reason for it is, again, the process of realization that there are things you need, and there are things you can understand literally anything as a resource, connection, a person, information, and whatnot that had been abandoned or rather considered redundant in the past. Like, you're not gonna need that connection with that individual, you ain't gonna need that ally, or you're not gonna need the money of your aunt as a will and whatnot. And throughout the next 2.5 years, give or take, you are going to start realizing that is not the truth. And if you want to make a considerable change toward the better in your life, especially repairing and as well revising, or rather like reshaping structures in your life, you are going to definitely need those resources, and you are going to have a chance to obtain them. This chance, though, goes through a personal transformation, which is going to be a transformation of starting over. It's like there are going to be fields in your life that you will need to start over, or reset them. It is probably the better word that I should use here. Reason that you will need to reset them is because there are options available in these areas of your life, say an options available in your relationship, but because of the way you started to build that relationship, these options have been left outside of the framework of the relationship itself, and therefore you need to reset it in order to build a new framework around it, so these options can now be available to you. And therefore, this transit for you, it will be at first is going to start with a process of revisiting stuff, revisiting your marriage, revisiting your work, or the choice of your career and whatnot, and realizing what needs to be resetted out there in order to open up these options that are otherwise available to you but are heretofore unexplored, which options are going to bring back the resources you thought redundant. Next, Taurus. It's a good one for you. It's Four of Cups. It's a Four of Cups, the Hierophant, and Six of Swords. It's a pretty steady influence and transit as far as Saturn is concerned, going through Aries. For you, the process or the influence of a Saturn is gonna happen very, very slowly. So it's highly unlikely that you're gonna notice it for a year, maybe even couple of years as well, or maybe towards the end of the transit when you roll back the tape, kind of like, and you compare where you have started from to where you are, you're going to realize that things have shifted, but you are not going to have a noticeable change on a day-to-day basis, unlike Aries is going to have. So what happens here is that Saturn is going to influence the relationship in between you and the important people in your life, whether they're going to be existing or newly formed, newly emerged important people in your life throughout the next 2 years and couple of months. And this a relationship, or rather the sense of reliability and the sense of trust that these people have in you, is going to increase little by little throughout the next 2.5 years. And by the end of the transit, by the moment Saturn is about to leave Aries and enter into your star sign Taurus, because these people are going to trust you so much, now you're going to have availability to uh, versatilize the relationship with them. Like, for example, to transform the friendship you have with a person into a business partnership, or to transform it into a romantic relationship, or to transform, your hobby into business. For example, if your hobby is related with other people as well. What is going to be like a collateral in surplus for you, it's the name. You will build up name without you even noticing it, and by the end of the next 2 years and couple of months, your name is going to be much more recognizable than your name right now. The question though is going to be what you're going to do about it, or with it rather, because many of you are going to struggle finding incentive to cash in on this good name you're going to build up in the next 2 years and couple of months, or the trust and the reliability the important people have in you. Big reason why that's going to be the case, I mean why you are going to increase the sense of trust in yourself, is because little by little you are going to constrain yourself of taking kind of like risky moves, or moves that have a unpredictable outcome. And so you're going to be the safety, figuratively speaking, horse that everyone can bet in, knowing that if not first, you are going to finish in the top three, the very least. Next, that will be Gemini. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. At the end of the stream, you're going to have a personalized reading, how Saturn through Aries is going to affect you personally. All right. Judgment, the Strength, and Eight of Cups. That will be massive improvement in the current circumstances. And for you, while it's going to be in a span of 2 years and a couple of months, that massive improvement is gonna happen rapidly on a very surprising scale, if I may put it that way. So think of it that way. Say next couple of months or next half a year, you aren't happy with your work, or you aren't happy with your love life, and in a span of 1 hour, everything has the potential to change through a unexpected good fortune that takes place. And when I say unexpected, I really mean it. It will be like a gift from the universe right there at that very moment, and it falls to you to answer that call of the universe. For you, if I have to put a label on the transit for you, it is the call of the universe. Moment where an option opens up for you, that an option contains no compromise you have to make, not with your character, not with your wishes, not with your resources, or not with the gains you can accumulate from it. It only takes courage from you to take it, because the option will contain a long-term development. And the question is going to be, do you have not just only the courage, but also the enthusiasm and the tenacity to follow it to the very end, because there will be no going back from it once you decide, I want to be a part of this business, say, or of this relationship, or of this movement, depending on what the option is going to be for you. Additionally to it, that will be a transit where you will be able to answer to yourself a highly philosophical questions that you may be currently having about life, about people, about humanity, okay, about a purpose that you are carrying on in this life. The cards are aligned so you can find yourself in the next 2 years and a couple of months if you haven't done that already. Next, that will be Cancer. The Wheel of Fortune, the Emperor, and Six of Pentacles. It's a breakthrough the ranks, climbing the ranks rather, climbing the ranks in either society or um, either in career hierarchy, for a lack of better words, climbing the ranks into the family, and therefore next 2 years and a couple of months you will come to an understanding how far you can climb, how big you can grow, right? How big of a business, how big of a figure, how big of an influence you can grow amongst people, amongst your peers, amongst your family members, and so on and so forth. And the answer you're going to come up to that will be staggering in term of uh, vastness, for lack of a better word. You will be to say that you're going to be pleasantly surprised realizing what you can be. It's an understatement. You can go as far as gaining a control over the subject. You are wondering how far you can go. And these 2.5 years, or 2 years and a couple of months in front of you, is going to be all about scoping, literally scoping the perfect circumstances in order to break through the ranks where you weren't supposed to, or where you weren't allowed to as well, surprising everyone, crushing competition, literally crushing competition, and proving everyone wrong that simply had not believed in you, right? And by the end of these 2 years and a couple of months, you may find yourself having a business far vaster and far more profitable and far bigger than everyone believes you can have, or having a job far better than everyone accounted that you can acquire, or having a relationship far more harmonious than everyone believed you are capable of. And again, reason for that is because you're going to realize how the clock is ticking, how the mechanism is ticking, and establishing control over it, navigating it to suit your needs. Next, that will be Leo. Ace of Cups, Four of Wands, and Four of Cups. I don't know that that's the best message for Leo. I'm not an astrologer, but just throughout the years of experience with reading about transits, even through tarot and whatnot, so working with astrologers, I know that Leo isn't that kind of a star sign that cherishes. This is more of a like Taurus development here. MT, thank you for the 20 US dollars. Thank you, MT. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're going to have personalized reading. How Saturn in Aries is going to affect you personally. So, next 2 years, in a couple of months, you, Leo, will come to the understanding that you have accomplished enough in life to kind of like put the brakes on and have a happy life if you so want to, if you so much want to, without breaking a sweat from here on moving forward, only living on the maintenance of your current acquisitions. Okay? Literally realizing that you simply don't need anything more than what you're already having. Which I know that you are a star sign of strife, star sign of passion, and star sign of of going forward, right? And that isn't a state that may satisfy you. Nonetheless, coming to this realization in the next 2 years, in a couple of months, is going to make you feel very good. And you can expect for the most, or for the majority of the experience you're going to have throughout that time frame to be very pleasant. Your day-to-day reality is going to transcend into something you're going to literally freaking love. And you're going to have the luxury of deciding, today I want to make something different, or in the next couple of weeks, I just want to chill out, right? Lay back and just do relaxing stuff. Make a retreat, for all you know. You're gonna have the luxury to do so. At points, life will become very boring, but very safe. Okay, and moreover than not, in these 2 years and couple of months, you're going to start realizing that you are overdoing stuff. Like you are taking care of more subjects and more aspects into a one undertaking that you literally need to. And therefore you are over meticulous and therefore over stressed. You can transcend, or rather like a cross the bar of the next level, with far less resources and far less efforts that than you are actually giving currently. And this is going to ease your nerves even further. All right, next one. That will be Virgo. These are your cards. Two of Cups, Ten of Wands, Justice. I can only say it that way. Next couple of years, in couple of months, the shared pain is going to be half the pain, and the shared happiness is going to be double the happiness. Bottom line, in these 2 years and a half and 2 months, you will realize that you do have a person for everything around you, to share the loss or to share the happiness. Regardless, this will alleviate an enormous pressure on your that it is hanging on your shoulders, knowing that there is someone that taking hit, that can take a hit with or for you. Take off the edge, take off a certain nagging responsibilities, lingering duties, which are a bit too much for you to handle right now, and that you can always rely on someone to reach out whenever you do need. It's not even comes to help, it comes to knowing that you aren't alone. And these 2.5 years or 2 years and a couple of months will make you realize that you do have a person for everything around you. You have a person for love, for business, for friendship, emotional trust. Even that is something um, we are having as a say in our country. Someone is an emotional trash or recycle bin, when it is someone that just only absorbs, what people are sharing as an unpleasant emotions, and they're absorbing it, but they don't put any emotion in it. So literally they can you can just go to them, say what it pains you, and kind of like go on your way, without inflicting any emotional damage to them. So you are okay, they're okay, everything is fine with that. News Devon, thank you for the £5. Thank you. We're gonna see that. And thus, next 2 years and a couple of months are going to be the years of unity. You will create unities. Within these unities, you will come to realize that there is no ego, there is no pride, there is no shyness, and you have a perfect relationship of equilibrium with these people. Multiple, numerous unities, it is what you are going to create. So after that Saturn in Aries, if any of you, Virgo, are feeling alone, you shall not feel alone no more. Libra next. Give me a minute. Um, these are your cards. Page of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Knight of Swords. Uh, it's a rough transit. Good news is that it's gonna happen slowly, right? It's a process rather than a all of a sudden blow that you may take, and this is going to be a mental blow that is going to be caused by two fronts. One is people, and this is going to be a blow on your sense of worth. Okay, there is a bottom line, or at least what these cards are showing is that there is always going to be someone that is going to question what you do, is going to question, for example, your attempts of building up a business and questioning the worth of that business, trying to make you think that what you are doing is worthless, that what you are doing has no future, that what you are doing is a waste of your time. Dead wrong on that. Okay, and this is going to be a test of how much you understand yourself, how much you understand your capabilities, and how much you put on your understanding on wealth. The other subject which is going to squeeze you in it is the sense of emergency, huge sense of emergency in the next 2 years, in a couple of months. Every time that you are going to have to take a choice which concerns that sense of worth of yours, because some of you may put health as the absolute worth, others may put money as an absolute worth, and the way you are doing, or you are building up your health, or you're building up your money, you're building up your business empire, whatever you put the word of wealth and worth is going to involve uh, again a sense of emergency. Like, if you don't do it now, you're never going to have the chance to do it again, and if you do it now, there is no going back from it. So it's going to be double the stress of going forward and of producing results. Not to mention that these situations in these that these situations under which you are going to have to make these decisions are going to be more over than not a situations of crises. So a bad circumstances are going to provoke you or corner you into making these decisions. But if you go or if you get out of that transit unscathed, meaning you haven't broken yourself by not recognizing what is worth your time and worth your while, um, you're going to have a concept by the end of these 2 years and a couple of months that you can build your life around, which concept will provide an immense wealth for your life going forward. It reminds me of a character of a series of books that I read recently. It's the Stormlight Archives, written by Brandon Sanderson. If any of you read that, it's the character of Seth. He had that problem. He struggled with it. So I can totally relate with these cards, although I do have just only Mars in Libra. Next star sign, that will be Scorpio. Why am I not surprised? Ace of Swords, Temperance, and King of Pentacles. Oh man, the transit of Saturn through Aries is going to be brutal for us. For the reason being is that throughout these 2 years, in a couple of months, whether we like it or not, our uh, glasses coated with a pink dye will be literally shattered. Ain't gonna be kind of like taken off our heads or our eyes. They are going to be right away shattered. So what I'm trying to say here is that this is going to be the transit of the truth. This truth, while it's going to be brutal in a sense that it will be undeniable, okay, will be also, I don't know how to put it in words, salvageable maybe is the best way how I can describe it here. It will be a truth that we can work with, and that truth will come through conversations. So we can expect in these 2 years, in a couple of months, people to become more and more honest with us. And the more the time passes, the more the time goes through these 2 years and a couple of months, the more people are going to open to us and going to divulge what they really think about us, and in generally what they really are. Bottom line is that as a result of that, by the end of this transit of the Saturn, we as a Scorpio will realize exactly how we stand, exactly what our chances are. For example, to impress our boss, or to impress a client, or to piss off a client, to piss off our boss. Same goes in terms of relationships. And through that, I don't know exactly what actions you're gonna take, Scorpio. I don't know what actions I'm gonna take by the end of these 2 years in a couple of months. But by the end, although we are not going to be exactly synchronized with the people around us, we are going to earn their respect. Okay, at least that's a given by the look of these cards. And in every single relationship we do have by the end of these 2 years and a couple of months, we are gonna find ourselves having the right measures in order to sustain that relationship in case we do want to. Another thing about these cards is that there is always going to be someone. Okay, there is always going to be someone trying to ensue a sense of it's not worthlessness, it's like it's the sense of that we haven't done our job, or we haven't done our thing entirely. Like there is always kind of like something left to be done. Oh my god, I don't know how to approach the subject here. It's like we haven't finished our job, okay, and that's they're going to try to install an incentive, or ensue an incentive in us, always to stay around and never kind of like move on to the next thing. So it's important to recognize, or kind of like to trust your judgment of the real diagnosis over the situation, because that is something it's given to us through the conversations we're going to that are going to be truthful conversations. We're going to know exactly how we stand, whether we have a future in it or not, whether we have something to do in it or not. Okay, and it's important to trust our judgment. And whenever we don't have any future in it anymore, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a project, whether it's an enterprise, whatever the case, just to move on to the next thing. Because again, there is always going to be someone that is going to try to ensue in us a sense that no, you still can accomplish a bit more in it. No different, and that is something that pissed me off back in the past, seeing my friends being beguiled of it, It is when a girl cuts them off, right? I mean, they try to make up with her, she cuts them off definitively. But there is always someone either in her company or in our company trying to ensue, well, you know what, with time she may kind of like change her opinion. She may give you a chance. No, she won't. She haven't. She hates you in her guts, mate. Just kind of move on to the next one. And kind of pissed me off because I saw more than few friends have broken heart over that kind of like over that situation. Right, next it's Sagittarius. These are the cards: Two of Swords, Knight of Wands, and Eight of Pentacles. So on the plus side, because there is a plus and minus side for the transit. I'm going to start with the minus side. The minus side is going to be that you will not gonna find a perfection in the next 2 years and a couple of months as far as Saturn is concerned. There is always going to be something that can be done better in your undertakings and in your deeds, which is totally fine. You know, I mean, a big lesson that you will need to learn in these 2 years is that, you know, we are human. Okay, sometimes we make mistakes. We aren't capable of everything. But sometimes from these mistakes, the most beautiful things happen. And without you even realizing it, at least at first, your inefficiency in certain fields, in certain aspects, are actually the blessings which are creating. It's not even a balance, it's more of an equilibrium in your life. Okay? And through these inefficiencies, you actually are going to come up to a incredible conclusions that are going to give you answers to conundrums you are currently facing. Something of a sort of the conundrum what you should work in order to feel fulfilled, what kind of a person you can date in order to make a stable family or stable relationship, where to live as well, what country you want to live, also could be a conundrum for you. These aren't just dilemmas, these are a conundrums. On the plus side, these inefficiencies are always going to be filled up by someone that's it's ready to lend you a helping hand without asking anything in return, at least at first. Reason for that is they find the subject you have inefficiency at as an interesting one, and they just want to try it out. And even by the end, even they kind of like lose that interest, they are going to be so deeper in that they won't have the luxury to withdraw just like that. And by the time they withdraw from it, they will have that inefficiency covered. And you are not going to suffer from it any longer. The only thing that is required from you from these 2 years and a couple of months is just don't rush your decisions. If you have multiple options and you wonder which one is better, just wait. Those which aren't good for you, but aren't obvious that aren't good for you, are gonna start dropping like flies. And by the end, only one of the options is going to be standing, which is going to be the best, the perfect, the real option for you, and it's the one you should take. No different than if you have say 3 dudes or 4 dudes to date with and you don't know which one to go for because they all are kind of like amazing and they all can offer you a future, but you don't know which one can offer you a better future than the other, right? And so what you do, you just wait. And those that aren't serious enough, they're gonna drop off like flies, moving on to the next girl. And the one that stays, it is the most serious one of all, the most dedicated one of all, the most um, committed one of all. And it is the obvious right choice. Hello, Rara. All right, next, Capricorn. These are the cards for Capricorn, King of Swords, the Magician, and Two of Pentacles. A massive transit. For you, what those cards are screaming, or rather like are implying, is that you will be able to, the word probably is not enforce, but I'm going to use anyway because I don't know which other word to use, to enforce your ways. Say you found or you came up with a concept that your current employer doesn't believe in. Tell you it's a waste of your breath, it's a waste of your time, you ain't gonna go anywhere with that. In the next 2 years, in a couple of months, you're gonna find a way how to transform that concept into a strategy, how to apply that strategy, make that strategy almost 100% efficient here with that Magician to the King of Swords. It's almost no question that that will be a successful process and make everyone gasp in awe by the end of it. The very least, as a product of all that, you are going to accumulate a massive amount of important connections. You will become, I can't really say famous, more like influential. You will become hugely influential. Your word is going to have a weight. And to top it all off, everything you can say yours, or everything you can name yours. Friends, family, home, car, whatever, okay, everything, whether it's an object or a subject, will have its dedicated place in your life being efficient. So by the end of these 2 years and a couple of months, you ain't gonna feel like you're carrying a dead weight, that you do have a friend you don't need, okay, that you do have a acquaintance that you can't use for something. And as a bonus, by the end of these 2 years and a couple of months, whatever live nagging problems you are facing right now, you're gonna find a solution for it. How to navigate through these difficulties in a way that you can get out of them as not just only unscathed, but also victorious. So it's a hugely improving transit for you, Capricorn, under which you are going to basically surprise everyone with your, not just only with your performance, but also your brilliant thinking. That's going to grant you sovereignty, going to push your ideas, going to push your goals, is going to build an influence. You're going to accumulate a lot of followers. It's just going to be an amazing thing. Only thing required is just to not let go of concepts which currently no one believes in. Next, Aquarius. These are your cards: Ten of Pentacles, Death, and Three of Swords. Saturn will affect, above everything else, your relationships. Not that much of intimate relationships as much as social and family relationships, also business relationships as well. So next 2 years, in a couple of months, is going to be a process through which you aren't just going to sever relationships you don't need and do not contribute to your comfortability, but you will seclude yourself from them. So basically, you're going to make yourself inaccessible to people that have no business with you and people that can only create a an obstacles for you. People that are, like I like to call them, a dead weight. But in the same time, you're going to restore a connections and relationships that can actually provide for you at that particular point. So you can expect in the next 2 years and a couple of months, old subjects, old personalities from your life to start popping up in your life. The sweetheart from your high school, the friend you had that you played on the playground when you were children, the colleague you had in the university, okay, or the classmate that you had in university that you get along very much. The partner you had at work on your first job, and so on, the roommate you were in your first rental place, and so on and so forth. All people that can contribute to your wellness and to your comfort, while in the same time you don't lose your sense of independence. Next 2 years, in a couple of months, that independence is going to spread, or that sense of independence is going to spread by you repaying back loans, covering mortgage, and all the aspects of material security that are making you feel dependent on one or another person. Another transformation or another extrapolation of that energy is when you transform your career into business, and you just don't depend on someone's salary that is giving you, but you actually depend on yourself and your own personal performance. This is going to be faced with a lot of criticism, though. There are going to be these people that you're going to cut off from your life, people that have been siphoning energy, that have been siphoning funds, emotions, time from you. they are not gonna like it, and they are not gonna go out quietly. There is going to be a huge noise and commotion, figuratively speaking, around it. You're going to be called names. You're going to be a victim of a mental cruelty. You're going to be told how much you're going to lose. You're going to be told how much you don't worth it, and how much you won't be able to handle life without them and whatnot. Don't fall for that. Okay. If you determine that you don't need someone, then that means that you don't need that one. And don't hesitate to cut them loose. And last but not least, that will be Pisces. Hello, Bluebeam17. Welcome to the stream. First time seeing you around, I think. Hope you enjoy the show. So for Pisces, these are the cards. I think it's quite it fits well for your star sign here. We do have a Six of Wands with the Eight of Cups and Knight of Swords. Again, a huge improvement into the circumstances for you. That will be 2 years and a couple of months in which you can I put it towards, it's not guaranteed, okay? That is something I need to emphasize on. It's not guaranteed, but you are going to have an option to uh, get bonuses. It is the best I can say. So anything that you get yourself involved in, that you have, say, agreed upon for a certain price, you can get more from it. It's not guaranteed, but you can definitely go for more, and or rather like accomplish more in it. Say you struck a deal to work 6 months for someone and they're gonna pay you X amount, okay? You're gonna have the opportunity to get X amount plus Y amount from it, okay? So far more than you have actually agreed upon through the aligned circumstances. But the key here is that you are not going to see that opportunity yourself, okay? Yes, there is going to be a massive improvement into the circumstances, but you're going to be oblivious for that improvement. There is going to be always someone close to you, someone that you're going to befriend at work, someone that you're going to befriend into the society, into the family and whatnot, that will see that shift into circumstances for you, and they're going to be good enough to tell you about it and to give you the solution. So this Saturn, or the transit of Saturn for you Pisces, it's a test whether you trust those you chose to be around you or not. And if you don't trust them, it's not going to be a loss, but definitely it's not going to be a win. However, if you do, they can present you with a recipe, through which the recipe you can get bonuses, you can get recognition, and in generally the only thing, or rather like the only thing that will produce our peak of experiences that otherwise you wouldn't have. But nonetheless, even if you don't trust these people, what you can expect is can I put it to words? It's not progress. It's more like a rewards. Okay, rewards and progress to speed up. in the transit of Saturn goes through Aries to speed up again through the unexpected shift of the circumstances that will present a brighter perspective upon the subject that you are involved in or that you are handling in the next 2 years, in a couple of months. Right, so that was for the 12, and now the super chat. Yeah, it's a bit inconvenient for Australia, I know. It's a bit inconvenient for me as well, because I'm located in Bulgaria, and currently is 4:07 a.m. here. Hey, we have to make sacrifices, don't we? All right, first one. Oh, I appreciate you as well, Yasmin, and all of you guys. Whoops. See what the small hours of the day do? It makes you fumble. All right, Yasmin. These are your cards: Knight of Cups, Ten of Cups, and Knight of Swords. Saturn going through Aries for you is going to be the transit that will allow you to go for everything you have ever wanted, and that is not an understatement. Although, what you gotta be careful about is that there is always gonna be someone out there that will have a better answer for you. So the real struggle for you is going to to be true to yourself, or rather, like, um, to always know what you really want, not allowing random people, and not even random people, but in generally people, to sway you of that idea or that wish of yours. This is going to be a transit that will give you everything you ever need to follow the dreams of your heart, making them uh, unproblematic and making them very fulfilling drive. It will be a personal investment, so it's not going to happen on its own accord. Okay, you have to put efforts in. Sometimes these efforts are going to be colossal efforts, but these are going to be efforts of conquering achievements and conquering challenges rather than solving problems, right? And everything starts with a travel. Travel which a person with a lot of resources is involved in, and this is a travel leading you to a new society. I don't know what that means. It may happen a month from now, it may happen 2 years from now, it may happen a year from now. It's going to happen somewhere in the time span of the transit of Saturn going through Aries, and you got to be vigilant. It may happen with that Ten of Cups being here, it may happen slowly, progressively, meaning that travel could be planned for months, or it could happen all of a sudden, like being being notified that it's possible to take place tomorrow, and you have to make up your mind whether you're gonna take it or not. So if I were in your shoes, I am to write down on a sheet of paper, on a note, or whatever, that's everything involving traveling is welcome. Business trips, holidays, visiting, everything that involves moving, it's welcoming in the next 2 years and 2 months. Cinnamon Kiss, thank you for the £20. Thank you, Cinnamon Kiss. Let me put you into the list, and you're gonna have a personalized reading in a few minutes. Taco, your reading is going to be the last one as per agreed. So moving on next, that will be MT. You're welcome, Yasmin. All right, MT, those are your cards. The Empress, the Hierophant, and the Lovers. So Saturn going through Aries for you is going to be transit of comfort. Transit through which you're going to build name, you're going to build reliability. And when I say reliability, a lot of people will rely on you and will depend on you. It will depend on your decisions, and it will depend on your well-being. The more your well-being is well, the more their well-being is going to be well. Your business is gonna expand, and your presence, your performance, and your work is going to become a label of stability. I would say as well luxury and comfort. And it all starts with one of the two events. Either an inheritance that is going to come your way, or either your child is going to go and visit your parents. Okay? One of the two events is going to trigger that process of you becoming the center of the comfort for everyone around you, through which you will have the power to build everyone's future, literally to build everyone's future. And that's going to be the moment where you need to realize that you can't satisfy everyone, okay? And some of the people that are going to rely on you can get what they want. Others, they have to get what they have to. They have to get what they have to. So be vigilant on one of these two events, either an inheritance or one of your children to go visit your parents. That's going to be the trigger. All right, next, Cinnamon Kiss. Yeah, in a good way. Okay, bear with me, all right? Bear with me and wait to hear me out until you make your conclusion. Those are your cards. So the event that is going to trigger your transit is going to be a betrayal. So basically, um, you are going to be betrayed. Someone around you is going to start causing small problems that you are going to be unaware of, at least at first, and these small problems are going to become big problems. You're going to realize that you have allowed a snake to become a part of your life, right? So that will be the event which is going to trigger the influence of Saturn going through Aries. And this event is going to make you give up. Okay, it's going to make you not wanting any relationships, not wanting any uh, connection with people, and so on and so. It just is going to make you give up. And the moment you give up is going to be the moment where you are going to align with the vibration of the stars and of the vibration of the universe, that will now going to attract, or is going to start pulling in, okay, the right people for you. And these right people are people you already know, people that you have passed on in the past, people that you have cut off, people that you haven't lingered around to get to know better. They will start reappearing in your life throughout the next 2 years in a couple of months. And through that experience with the betrayal, you are going to revisit and as well reconsider, reassess the what influence and what application, okay, what contribution they can have to your life. And the new assessment is going to be very promising. So that is how Saturn in Aries is going to unfold for you. Cinnamon kiss. As far as moving into South Africa for the next 6 months, Eight of Wands, it's a possibility, but you need to be decisive about it. It is what the card says. It's possible, but you need to be decisive about it. All right, next, News Devon. Oh, it doesn't say who that might be. Uh, News Devon, what's coming your way is either a trip to a family property, or a family property is gonna be willed to you, and you're going to receive it on a later stage in your life as an inheritance. That is what's coming your way. One of the two events. And needless to say, that event is throughout Saturn in Aries, so it can take place anywhere in between now and April 12th, 2028. And last but not least, that will be Taco. Yeah, well, Cinnamon Kiss, the biggest retribution, if you might call it that way, to people that betray you is to show them that you can live your life better without them. All right, Taco, I think that what you are waiting for, mate, is coming through the Saturn in Aries. Those are your cards, okay? And what they show is that you will be able to fit into a lot of to every expectation that is addressed your way, and as well take advantage of chaotic situations and the turmoil that you will be a part of in the next 2 years and a couple of months, building up a lot of personal sovereignty through it, and pushing forward your vision, your ideas, and your targets. And this triggers through finding a way to acquire inheritance. So basically what you're waiting for so long time, it's becoming a reality in the next 2 years and a couple of months, as you will convince those that depends on um, you know, into your heritage, and as well into your entitlement. And basically you will play your cards right. I don't know how to put it in another way, but you're gonna play your cards right. It's gonna be difficult though, mate. um and so at some point it's gonna feel like miracles of what you're doing, okay, and or what kind of situations you're putting yourself through. But at the end it will all worth it, okay? At the end it will all worth it. And yeah, you will get from those that owe you everything that they owe you in right and as well in contribution. But these 2.5 years are gonna be years where there will be nothing impossible for you, and it will not take you even um, a lot of struggle, okay? Because you will have always the right concept and the right vision, which is going to be quite innovative, by the way. No one else is going to figure out what you are about to do and how you're going to do it. So pretty much everyone that is against you, everyone that is trying to sabotage your work, your standing, your entitlement, is going to be left as a victim of the circumstances after you, so they won't be able to have an answer to what you are up to. And thus, these are going to be 2.5 years where you can do literally whatever you want, taking advantage of the circumstances around you and turning them in your own personal favor. And the event that triggers that, it's the solidification of that inheritance. So that's gonna do it for tonight, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your generosity. Hopefully we're gonna see each other next time, and until then, bye.